you guys want to be greedy? We'll raise the greed as well. You know, we're not just going to have a Jug solo core anymore at this point versus that Void just in case things. We're going to put no one on a Morphling too. So I think they put themselves in a good position in case the game does get a little wonky in the mid game, that they will be able to progress and scale in later stages. But definitely a little bit more difficult for sure for Gambit picking up with this Morphling. Because there is some opportunities now where EXTREMUM, if they do land successful ultimates, like the Chronosphere and the Exorcism, they could just take a lot of these team fights successfully, but lanes have to go well.
Oh. First blood, though.
Sure
could
is.
go the way of AS Monaco Gambit here as they catch Shashlo.
Oh.
Trying to give it to Dream, and they will.
He doesn't even spin. Look at him. Full confidence. Just gives him the right click because of the Gush minus armor. Does mean that there's a Gush starting on our Tidehunter level 1, but I think that's... I mean, we've seen that so many times, especially with Lion. A hero like Mirana or Lion, they utilize the Gush so well, so it's usually quite fine having that. And he's not versus a kill lane anyway, right? Like, sometimes it's like, uh-oh, I have Gush, and I'm versus like a Jug. It's like, uh-oh. Now I have this weird spell that doesn't really do anything, but versus a Void, versus a Snapfire should have a very good lane on Afterlife anyway. Setting themselves up to try to get at least 3 runes on the side of Gambit. See who clicks faster. Who's gonna get it? EXTREMUM will. They're the one who gets the 3. Actually, do they get... Okay, they'll go only 3.
Seneco still able to get the one here in the river, but may have given up first blood, but at least able to balance out a little bit with the majority of bounties. Going over to their half here, EXTREMUM. Yeah, we'll see how these lanes go. I mean, so mid, no one on the morph. You think he's going to be... I mean, are you able to beat the Death Prophet in this, or is sort of the crit swarm burst enough to keep you on your toes?
I think you end up winning the last hit to punch. Yeah, you end up just out-regenning, and you just hit creeps. You have higher base damage. Actually misses the first deny. Melja doesn't even actually have to use the Crypt Swarm. Usually you do see the Morphling able to get a couple more denies in the matchup especially, but let's see what Melja does. You just click him. That's the plan as Death Prophet. Just hit the Morphling all laning phase. Use your Crypt Swarms to secure creeps when he does walk up to you or to go for denies. Let's see how he plays around the range creep. Okay, no one will get it. I'm mostly going to be staring at mid for a while.
Oh, missing a couple of CS here at the start here. No one. But, early days, just getting into the role of things.
I like how Melogil's playing the matchup right now, though. He's just clicking him. Ooh, and no one misses another range creep. Doesn't get denied, but doesn't get the gold either. This is the exciting one. Does get a range deny this time. Pretty even right now, though. Top. The Void used Time Walk.
He's got a CP.
He sure does.
Oh,
oh brutal. They do have the pull open. G tried to do a half pull. He actually only gets the single range creep. Decent anyway. We'll be able to deny that one out. But yeah, Nefrit eats a hefty amount of damage because of that. Now Lane is still pushing out extremely hard into Afterlife. So Nefrit, he's not going to have a fun time up here at all, it looks like, in these first 3-4 waves, perhaps.
That's going to be a bit of a tough job here for EXTREMUM to reclaim the momentum. Gambit making the moves as they are top.
Immersion's not going to let him do what he wants to do either. G, he's trying to pull and stack the camp. Immersion just literally walks into the camp to make sure that doesn't happen. Hits the level 2 because of it as well.
We'll see Chu. He's getting a lot of stacks here.
He might be able to kill him. He has to TP out on Seneco. One more poison. Oh, so close. Does mean he has to use the salve on himself, so Dream won't have one available for the Jug, but Dream overall isn't going to be eating too much harassment down here. It's mostly if Seneco steps up out of position. Loves Shadow Demon right now. I think this is a hero with so much untapped potential after all the buffs he's gotten. The illusions lasting forever, Shadow Poison not getting dispelled.
Sure, and this was one of the old school classic duos, really, back in the day, just Shadow Demon Centaur. Yep. It was pretty much one of the hottest couples that you could get on that offlane.
Yeah, it used to be different because of the way Soulcatcher worked, where you'd amp the damage, so the Centaurs, like Double Edge, would do ridiculous burst, but still has the same effectiveness now with like the Shadow Poison doing the increased damage and mana costs and blah, 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 all these other different crazy changes. As we're seeing all 3 lanes right now, Gambit's coming out quite ahead. This top one is the biggest disaster for sure. Nefrit, a couple just mistakes in this early start have costed a lot here. As Dream will get some nice hits onto Shashlo, but not quite a kill. Double bracers are online for Shashlo, so he is safe versus the big burst damage. I love seeing that build.
I mean, yeah, it just puts him in a state where they're never really going to be able to make a kill on him, and unless he's hanging around, you know, it's not half HP, which for the most part he won't. He can just play it smart. Yeah,
it's like, I like when I just see like even like fluffy hats and stuff like that in the offlanes versus Jug, specifically versus Jug, because you survive the burst, you can even TP during it after Inkswell. Lots of different things you can do to play around and survive. Jug is still free farming though. And as we said, the Void is under a bit of pressure. Their Afterlife even walking up and contesting the pull from G. Goes for an early Soul Ring. He's always going to have mana to spam up here, so that Gush will always be valuable. Immersion is also looking to get some stacks up in the meantime, so we'll watch his movements. Always being sure to assist the lane to be able to block out the pulls, and then also just stack up for his Tide.
We'll see the rune as well. No one's able to get that bottle, of course, just making sure that there's no extra support coming in from EXTREMUM to try and have full control of both spawns.
Yep, and Seneko gets the bottom one as well, so Meloju will not have a full bottle, which means no one will come out ahead a little bit in these next few waves in the mid matchup.
I guess, yeah, Afterlife, quite like the you know, Centaur down on the bottom, just an offlaner in a situation where, yeah, what he's up against, he's not going to die to.
No.
You know, this Tide's not going to die in this top lane.
And Centaur still can kind of die. If Shashlo makes a big mistake.
Okay.
But yeah, Tide under a little bit more survivable, but yeah, they should both be fine. They're both going to play it safe. Chu gets a nice side pull off too to reset. There's a cookie for some harass. Time dilation.
Trying to
get onto him.
Yeah, can't quite get the reach onto immersion.
Eats a hefty amount of burst. Lots of wand charges on both sides here. All right, fairly quiet first 5 minutes. Definitely still seeing Gambit coming out a tiny bit ahead. This Tidehunter just absolutely free farming is quite a concern, I would say. I love the Tidehunter Lion combo. I think it's so strong in mid game, so strong in later stages too. Like Lion versus Void, I think this was an excellent pickup for them to get. I'm surprised that EXTREMUM did go for the Void as that last pick, since there is that Lion and Grimstroke. Two heroes that can trip him up very hard inside the mid game, both from the leash and just the overwhelming control that comes out from the two of them. I think it could definitely cause some quick problems for EXTREMUM too. Shashlo's got Ring of Health. Gonna go Hood this game. More valuable than the Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is. Yeah, they're still, you know, the Vanguard's going to be nice, but does he just not get it at all? If you see sort of Hood Rush, do you go back for it, or you're just going to go Hood Blink?
I think you just go Hood Blink,
okay.
Hood Boots Blink. Yeah. Maybe. I've still seen like every Centaur actually go Hood and Vanguard, but usually they get the Vanguard first. But in this matchup, just wants that Hood so he can't just die to the combo. Dream is actually getting very aggressive bottom, but also top Afterlife. We'll step up too far.
Yeah, and now at this stage, they actually do have the damage to really threaten him. He has got one charges. Doesn't look like he wants to use them. No. Feels that he's dead either way there in that situation, so he'll just accept his death.
Immersion nowhere near him to actually protect him.
And bottom, look for the setup on the Jug. Not going to quite have enough burst to take out Dream, though.
He's going to keep stacking the poison, though, after the spin, or trying to. Nah, can't get the third connection. Only 2 point. Two of them up onto him.
I'm seeing some good pressure coming out from EXTREMUM on both the side lanes now with that move, the Ring of Health on Shashlo. Yeah, it's hard now to really push this Centaur out of the lane.
Especially with Dream being just so low mana. Not going for a... Do they have the Basti coming out yet? Okay, Seneko does have Basti. I was going to say, where's their Basti down here? Best item in the game on supports. He's going to have it coming soon for that Jug to have mana. They have Kill Threat when he's 6. Onto Shashlo. Does have to be a little careful when he is alone. Whenever Chu does back up and go for stacks, as we have been pointing out, both sides are preparing themselves with these stacks as no one. He's got a regen rune. He'll start working on the one set of hard camp stacks as this Morphling. And they're actually going to give the mid lane to Immersion, so some efficiency coming up from the side of AS Monaco Gambit.
This is going to be a lot of farm here for no one, and we'll see. Going for the Asher in the build-up.
Yeah, just Manta.
Do you think, yeah, just Manta Skadi sort of game?
Yeah.
Or?
Manta, he could even go E-Blade because he's got the Grim combo. And there's a Chronosphere, so protecting teammates versus that would be pretty nice. I think that could just be the option. But Manta's super value this game. He should only really get tripped up from like Death Prophet Silence is the biggest thing that he has to watch out for.
Yeah, and you think that's still too much? Like you don't like to see sort of the E-Blade rush. You feel that just gets punished too often.
Yeah, just unnecessary. Yeah. I think they raised the greed this game, right? That's why they picked this Morphling. So I think he's just gonna go for more of safer builds. You don't need the E-Blade. As rotation comes, Melojul playing around his Centaur who's got that Hood finished up. They're gonna ditch this tower. AS Monaco Gambit gonna look to hit somewhere else. They're gonna push in mid really hard with no one. Look to dive G. It's very obvious though. Immersion walking right through a ward. He'll take that one out. Trying to push him off of the wave, but G gets the aggro. So they're gonna have to just brute force the issue here with 3 or 4 heroes in healing ward. But this rotation's already from EXTREMUM.
Yeah.
Nice moves right now. Nice early game.
Yeah, good pressure on bottom and keeping mid safe.
Big fan of that move. I love seeing that. And G is just staying super far back, very defensively as the Snapfire, just farming the side pull, getting his level 6 hit a good timing on the Snapfire too.
And wrap around though, Immersion. He's got the lead in, they've got the damage here, the 5 of them beat down upon the Sensor. He's as they try and save him, but it's all too much damage here as the full 5 of AS Monaco Gambit now starting to step things up in the mid push.
Cookie to try to slow it down, but as we said, the brute force from AS Monaco Gambit, even with the Tidehunter showing up, should be able to finish off this tower. Not quite level 6 on the Snapfire. If 6 was on Snapfire, then I think they could fight and push it away with that Chronosphere, but before that, damage is quite limited since Exorcism was used bottom.
Yeah, just at this stage, a very tough fight for them to turn up to when Ravage is available.
But when they've got kisses, right, they can fight around all these towers. With the Chronosphere plus kisses, should be able to. But Chu gets down.
He finds the setup, and with Afterlife by his side, they do not have a lack of damage.
Nicely done by Immersion. 2 times now getting these catches. Very good. I mean, it's such a good line game, honestly. It's versus these. He's got Burst for the Death Prophet. He's got Control versus the Void. It's always going to be nice when you're in these situations. Almost 6 now, too. All the support's getting close to it.
Yeah, pretty much lying with... Plus, any of the other heroes is probably going to be able to take out any of members of EXTREMUM, apart from Shashlo.
Yes.
You know, the other 4 at this stage, very vulnerable to dying during the control that Immersion can offer.
Oh, and we always have to point out, of course, too, no one, he found the item on the Morphling.
Fairy Trinket.
All right, now you got Possessed Mask.
Oh, Possessed Mask, all right.
Even more OP one on the Morphling, of course.
That's true, actually.
He's just chilling. Free Morbid Mask, pretty much, to be able to farm jungle at low HP. Nefer finds himself a D-Ward. And they can't set up a defense in top tower. G is showing himself bottom in for a moment versus Seneko, but he could definitely swing around top if Gambit does try to get a push going. He looks like he even wants to potentially go for Seneko. I'm watching G down here because he's just watching Seneko farm. He's like, I don't want him to do this. But there's so much farm coming in for him. They'll actually just swing Mellow Jewel down to bottom, who almost has his Yule Scepter finished up. So very early timing on Mellow Jewel for that.
So do you like this from Nefer? Because I feel like we've seen most Voids nowadays get the Mask of Madness on the build-up.
I was going to say the same.
So no Mask of Madness this game from Nefer, just straight Maelstrom.
I'm a much bigger fan of the Mask, I'll be honest. It gives you much easier solo kill potential, and honestly, it kind of makes you just farm faster. So yeah, definitely different approach, but it's from player to player, whatever you're more comfortable with.
Yeah, I imagine still after Maelstrom it'll just go like the Maelstrom S and Y, but
yeah,
you can definitely probably expect us to really feel the lack of the Mask of Madness buff in some of the situations where he's going to go on someone in the chrono.
Absolutely. And they're ready to make moves still. Yes, Monaco Gambit, a little bit easier to just make these quick moves here with the Lion. Always looking for any type of pick. Mellow would be the big one. I think they just got a glimpse of him for a quick second, it looked like, perhaps, but not quite. They're playing around Seneko, I love it. They're just like, Seneko, keep pushing the lane. You got your level 4 nuke. Chrono.
Oh, Chrono.
The kisses.
They've caught him. They've got him. My friend G there with the combo. That'll get the job done anytime they catch no one low. Over in the river, the burst comes out. Now with a blow up Mellow Jewel. So a core for a core across the map as both mids fall.
And it's like the same exact gank. 2 ults used to kill one, 2 ults used to kill the other. As EXTREMUM, they can push the tower.
This will be defended though. They're coming in for the defense. Ravage at the ready.
He's TPing right in the front.
Immersion is going to have to set up. They're going to try and get Shashto out of it. The Hood giving him some protection. It's popping the ult.
Oh!
He's away. Afterlife not wanting to use the Ravage there to get the kill. And you respect that? You know, you don't want to use a Ravage just for an offlaner?
No, yeah, I definitely do.
Yeah,
I think he can now they know that there's like a lot utilized here on EXTREMUM. They can go commit for the next tower with Ravage.
Yeah, I like it. I like that he's held back on that.
Just the threat, right, of Ravage. Stampede now being down means EXTREMUM probably won't want to fight. Death probably just can't show up to fights now that this Ravage is still online too, so. Yeah, it definitely works out as they swing top. Might even be able to fight a fight here. Chu.
See Immersion.
The nuke.
Reach with the stun. The nuke of the Grim not quite catching though. Shashlo turns up. Shashlo, of course, very close to having this blink done. Couple hundred gold away.
What's our Afterlife gone for? Okay, he's going for more of just the I can't die approach on the Tidehunter this time around. Hood into Medallion, covering the minus armor that's going to be coming out. And just, of course, that Exorcism damage can be reduced nicely. So he's going to be, I mean, he's going to be pretty much unkillable on this Tide unless he gets totally isolated. There is still a fun that you can do with Shadow Demon versus Tidehunter, though. The Shadow Poisons don't get removed from Kraken Shell. So there's a lot of damage that can get caught out if he does just get stacked up. DD.
Easy.
Easy. And now a Hood also soon to be finished on Melojule. So trying to find his own protection. He does have his own save, of course, on Melojule this time around. Not like we did see in the earlier series. No real protection for Death Prophet. They do have Shadow Demon. So that'll always be nice coverage for him. And Manta's almost done for no one. So he's almost in a very safe position to not get caught out much this game, honestly.
No, for sure. Once the Manta's there, it's just going to be all be about the chrono, really. If no one's quick on the fingers, he's going to be able to dodge, shift off everything else.
Hey, they're both just playing like kind of these like sit-back farm games. Like Gambit not even looking to contest ancient areas with their Ravage being up there. They're just content with sitting back and farming. Since they've gone for this really greedy draft with that Morphling last pick, they're probably comfortable with how the game
I think so, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's going to be that scaling of Void against the scaling of a Morph and a Jug.
Absolutely. No one now has the Manta. They were trying to set up on him top with the Silence, perhaps with the Shadow Demon, but now the Manta's online. Very tough for him to get brought down unless he is inside of that Chrono. Yeah, they're just chilling. Immersion almost has Blink Dagger online too. I feel like Gambit is in a very good position just sitting back here.
Yeah, they can keep hitting the creeps.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to feel pressure to do much at all right now. Whereas EXTREMUM, of course, they're going to want to look for action every time Kronos goes up. And that's going to what's really shake them up.
Yeah. Blink 2, Shashlo. Definitely wants to be active, especially with G with Kisses. Yeah. They're looking for something. Shashlo, he'll find Seneko, but the Silence is very fast.
Yeah, instantly out there. So puts a stop to any follow-up Hoofstomp coming in. I see the jump forward. It's a good chrono.
Gets the shift off.
He has got a lot of strength built up. See if they got anywhere near enough damage to threaten him as no one. A lot of HP here. Of course, they do lose Seneko in the chrono. No one. Still on the retreat. Turns into Centaur here to hold back Shashlo. There's no one. He's thinking about getting back into this, of course, with the time that's been brought. ASM and Gambit, they've got the backup, and Shashlo, they'll be able to turn on him. Shashlo, he's got no escape here.
The GG branch gets dropped. They found the wraparound. They got this ward down onto Melojule. They just burst him again. 2 times now they found this Death Prophet. The mid solo just getting picked off that much easier. Didn't require Finger either. That was just an Omni Slash this time around, so they will have a Finger available for the next target. And now they have potential for Roche, maybe. With Healing Ward, with the Possessed Mask, with Morphling in such a far position.
Absolutely. They can do this pretty safely.
No Chrono, no Snapfire. Yeah. The damage is just not there now for EXTREMUM. They have Exorcism, but if she walks in, it's very likely she just gets stunned and fingered and killed. So
yeah. I mean, and we're seeing, again, even though a Chrono does allow them to do a lot of damage to no one, it is, again, one of those sort of telegraphed abilities that as long as no one is fully focused, he will get that shift off.
Absolutely.
And once that's there at this stage of the game where you don't have any sort of itemization to deal with that HP build-up, he instantly gets Hexed and silenced here. They're going to jump across. Ravage comes out. There will be a disruption to buy him some time. See if they can actually get him out of it, though. Melo is going to pop the Exorcism, turns attention over towards no one. No one pops the Manta, removes the silence. Afterlife's going to get pushed out to the side, and with the cookie in, the Tide will fall. They take down Afterlife.
Great disruption. Looked a little awkward there, too, because it was at the same exact time as Stampede, but ends up being just fine because he protects from the majority of the damage. And now they can turn for this tier 1. 5 seconds on Kisses. Jump. Spin is instant.
They'll buff Dream up, but Dream doesn't want to charge back in on this.
Very quick that they're getting these little silences and stuff off on the side of Gambit. But EXTREMUM do hit back a little bit there. Not on a big kill, but they at least do get the Tidehunter down. So who's got the... So Solar Crest is about to be finished for G. Gambit already has theirs, as we stated, on the Tidehunter. So both these cores, all the cores will be enabled nicely as G. He steps up too far.
He does stick around a little too long.
Immersion's so patient. Look at that. Everyone's probably like, get the finger stacks. But he's saving it for the big targets. He wants the Void or the Death Prophet.
I mean, that's the thing, as you say, having it for this DP, they have managed to cause big issues for Melojule the last few fights. They want to make sure they can keep doing that.
Mid. Looking to try for Afterlife a little bit here, but he is quite tanky. Chew. Stacking up some poisons, but won't be able to do much else.
Should the smoke come out from no one in Immersion as they swing over towards the mid to join the rest of them.
No Exorcism. Chrono and Kisses online, though. They got to be careful how they stack on the side of Gambit.
See what they're going to find. Oh, Immersion. Oh, they get the hoof stomp off in time. A stun from Immersion, though. It still catches him. As they found you, it's a good Chrono. Oh, it's a beautiful Chrono. He's in. He's found the 3. The kisses are coming out. A fantastic Chronosphere here from Nefrit. Will take down the 2 of them. No one. Can he still get out of this? Turns to the center. Has the hoof stomp. He'll get away. But that's the Jug and the Lion down. These are the sort of Chronos that EXTREMUM needs to hit.
Beautiful.
To just control and keep a bit of an edge here against ASM Gambit. So Afterlife, he'll run, but they'll chase, and he'll slowly but surely fall as well. EXTREMUM take down 3.
They're lucky that they even kept the Aegis. No one did not get his attribute shift off in time. They stacked up perfectly for Nefrit. Look, he's not shifting. If they actually put the focus onto him with the kisses,
they
potentially could have gotten the Aegis as well. So I think no one very fortunate to be getting out of this one, but EXTREMUM, a huge fight for themselves, and they will still have some ults for the next fight too. They still have Exorcism, they still got Stampede. Yeah, very nicely done from Nefrit, who now has a BKB, so he's got his own way to be able to defend.
Sending at the jump here. They have got the finger, so they'll have... Oh, he's not actually going to get the finger off in time.
He's piped up.
There it is. Up. Oh, indeed, that pipe will keep him alive.
He was too patient.
It was needed to throw out at the start.
And now Monaco.
It's like they're being a little careful about how much will they push, but yeah, I think next time we might see Immersion just throw out the ult a bit more instantly. We saw sort of memories back in the major, right? Some of these Chinese teams, they'll jump and they'll use the finger first.
Yep.
They're not holding on to it.
Yeah, this time it does not pay off for him whatsoever. The pipe shows up at the perfect time, though. Shashlal comes in and bails out G. Very close game.
Yeah, 7-7, 20 minutes in. Again, just another one of these matches where we're seeing both teams play very carefully.
Oh, interesting. Takes the movement speed on the Death Prophet. I see most people still taking the max health Spirit Siphon.
Oh, Chu.
Whoa.
Whoa, okay, they want Chu dead.
Wow,
Ravage popped here for the Shadow Demon.
Now Afterlife.
I mean, now there's no Ravage.
He's dead.
That was pretty wild there. I mean, maybe they assumed that there was more behind the SD, but that was just a lone SD that Afterlife runs in, pops the Ravage, loses his life for it. Which is a bit strange as well, seeing as how reserved we saw Afterlife play with his Ravages earlier. I mean, I guess there hasn't been a lot of action, just hungry for something to happen, but a Ravage not very well spent there.
EXTREMUM is getting away with quite a lot of kills that I didn't think they'd be getting in some of these situations. Overextensions from Gambit, and definitely some interesting usage of the ults. No one is still farming really well. That is the one thing that's going very nice, and he still has his Aegis, which will be reclaimed in about 15.
Chrono's back
they're
up.
ready to hit. Yeah, they've got the Snapfire, Kisses, and Chrono. They always have some type of ultis to be able to throw in.
Oh,
and
no one's showing a mid.
5 seconds.
Can they get the wraparound here with Nefrit?
The ward will spot as soon as he does walk down, so no one will see that. Might look to make their own move.
Going to try and come out onto Shashlal, but not too much. No one's careful. He knows that they're looking to jump in.
They got Dream's his ulti orb, so now he won't have Manta for the next fight either, so they're actually being a little bit more careful. And they also have BKB on Melojewel too. Best way to counter Tidehunter. Double BKBs on your cores. They're going to re-smoke and look for the fight. No one. Will he get caught by the Chrono?
Oh.
He gets a shift off.
He does. Instantly there. And with the shift in place...
Nice stun in the back.
Can they do quite enough damage? They can't. Oh, the silencer's coming after the Manta. Demonic Purge as well, but it's still too much HP. They can't commit any further onto the Morphling.
Oh, Nefrit actually pops his BKB. Don't know if he needed to actually use that one there. Bit of a waste of the 9 seconds.
I mean, this is obviously the difficulties here with the Chronos. These missed Chronos where it doesn't get them a kill. It hurts a lot for what EXTREMUM's draft's trying to do. And
both teams are they're avoiding the ultis a lot, right? Like the Ravage was used on one target, it gets wasted. This one is a very big overcommit. EXTREMUM uses all 3 of their ults, actually all 4, including the Stampede. Kisses, Exorcism, Stampede, Demonic Purge, and Chrono. There you go, JJ, thank you.
And you're definitely taking a risk when you go for a Chrono like that, because I think most of the time, he's going to get the shift off. He's played against a million Voids, right? He's always going to be ready. He's going to know when the Void's off the map, looking to jump him. He's going to be watching his hero and be instant with that shift in response to avoid jumping in range of him. So definitely a very tough play to make. He's got to sort of just hit no one in the midst of chaos. You know, being the first to go in with the chrono is never going to be easy.
They see him, they've got the stun, but Chu's already there. He was very prepared. And now Immersion, very likely to get turned on himself. Does a lot of bashes. Bash to death. As a DD spawns top. Big rune for both sides.
All right.
Almost an E-Blade finished up onto no one, so he'll be able to protect some people inside of Chronosphere versus some damage. Sure, kisses will still be a problem, and he has the burst. With Soulbind as well, they'll be able to double E-Blade people in some situations. That'll be quite nice. Still very close, only 2K lead here for Gambit.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Nefrit queuing up the next item, the next big one, the Scotty versus that Morphling.
Oh, changing his mind,
Changes it right away.
I mean, all right. It is a lot of burst and jump that he's obviously having to deal with. So, I mean, both items are going to be appealing. He's probably just going to have to get them both at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so too.
At this stage where, you know, they do have so much jump and disable, the status resistors, it's going to be a bit more key to make sure that he survives for it.
Blink finished up on Afterlife. This is where Gambit can start to actually look for getting these fights a bit easier. They don't want to just have to rely on Immersion getting every single one of these initiations. I think this is probably where they look to smoke. Even though they're running into almost everything, actually yes, everything of the side of EXTREMUM, I think they're going to look to go for a big hit themselves. But I don't think they have any smokes left. I don't think they do. Yeah, they do not. 20 minutes around 2, did pass like 5 minutes ago, so we do have the Grimstroke Shard that's also going to be coming into play in situations, but there's always going to be Demonic Purge too. You can instantly remove that one. As EXTREMUM's the one who does have smokes available. They're the one who's actually going to look for the initiation. Everything at the ready. Need to catch something that isn't the Morph though.
Yeah,
or at least catch him
very
from high
hard
ground,
catch.
like
Yeah.
before he gets the shift. Afterlife, quick blink away. And they will get the D-ward. They do give away that they do have some type of vision over here shortly. Another ward actually placed instantly. It's gonna get D-warded again. Okay. Free money.
I still want to try and find this jump here, some Gambit.
That deep ward that EXTREMUM got early on the left side, it's watching everything, all the movement. Both of these triangle wards are still uncountered. And they placed a third obs ward on that high ground. That's Roche. They're actually going to sneak in there with the exorcism.
Oh, are they going to know? Are they going to...
TPing, they know.
Yeah, they're coming over. They've got that Blink Ravage. Can they do it in time here, EXTREMUM?
They've got double BKBs if they're quick.
It's going down pretty quickly.
It's already dead.
They got it. As even onto the side, Shasha also get the jump onto Afterlife.
Get the Yules too.
So they can actually kill him off. Ravage comes out onto the three of them. They're trying to burst this Death Prophet with the E-Blade. Can they quite do it? No, the disruption. It comes out. They keep the DP alive. Mellow Yule's going to be fine. Back up to full HP as they'll run down Afterlife. ASM Gambit just a little too slow to try and bring the action around the pit as EXTREMUM. They take down Roshan in time. And they're the ones that are just more ready for it. Shashla immediately jumping out of the pit and catching Afterlife. And over to the side.
Another one.
Stun the Chrono. This time around, they'll catch him low. Nefrit with the Chronosphere to rub additional salt into the wounds of ASM Gambit.
Where's this EXTREMUM been? Look at the ward, like the way they're playing around their ward coverage is so smart. This deep ward, it never got dewarded. The secondary ward also did not get taken out at all. They played it so well. AS Monaco Gambit did not find the deward at all. That is actually so huge for them, forcing the fight, forcing the engagement. These are big plays coming out from EXTREMUM.
Yeah, so some fantastic stuff. And
they force the fight, right? Like the Tidal is trying to disengage, he gets lifted up, and then he's forced to Ravage in a weird position. They're in a great place now. Time Walk cooldown plus the Shard.
And we saw in that last engagement as well. They got so close to bursting Mellow Jules.
Chu is so clutch.
These disruptions, you'll see it. Look how low he is.
And that's because he sidestepped the Ravage too. He like walks upward as the Ravage is coming, so he's able to disengage, and bam, they get the cheese because of it. And these wards, it just keeps watching all of AS Monaco Gambit's movements.
And we see here a brilliant jump. Shashlo with the setup. Nefrit with the follow-up lockdown.
Beautiful.
Back in action. Trying to make moves on Nefrit, but honestly at this stage with the BKB, S&Y, Aegis, Nefrit is he's a tough unit to take down. Like jumping this void, you're very unlikely to have to burst, especially if Chu's able to buy a bit of time to break the combos. Jumping on Extremum's cause now that you're behind 5k, and with the heroes you have, it's just not easy. It's very hard for SM Gambit.
You have to get to Chu. You need to find the Shadow Demon so badly, and Chu, he's getting away with so much. He almost has an Aghanims finished up on the Shadow Demon too, so our Tidehunter, he hasn't really looked really tanky anyway in this game, but he'll be broken. Jug will be broken. These fights are going to get very complicated for the side of AS Monaco Gambit. They have to find ways to get into the back. Kisses every time too. It's like the Chronosphere comes out, they don't have anybody to prevent the kisses back there either. EXTREMUM just outplaying. He's gonna go for the blink instead, so just worrying more about positioning on Chu. I actually like that. He's already so far ahead, it's not like breaking, he doesn't need to break like a PA or Bristleback or something that they can't actually solve right now, so yeah, goes for the blink. He'll always be in the position to save versus any of these Ravages. Now, this is very nice from EXTREMUM.
I don't know, keep pushing on here.
And now they have Lotus Orb too on the Centaur, so
they
Nefrit,
can go high ground.
So safe.
Yeah, Aegis, 10 seconds on Chrono. No reason for EXTREMUM to back down at the moment. As they're ready to push, they're ready to siege you. 30 minutes in, starting to hitting onto the tier 3 tower. What have ASM Gambit got to defend?
Not a whole lot. They're bringing the Morphling over now.
And what can they do? Who can they burst?
They gotta try something.
They're gonna try. They're in with the Ravage. We'll catch the three of them. They're in with the burst onto the DP. The disruption comes out. Chu able to keep him alive. Void getting low. The finger out, but Void is not even gonna go down at once. Nefrit's still good to go as they jump in onto Afterlife, bring down the tide. They will lose the Aegis on him. And Nefrit, he's already done his job. The melee racks has been taken. EXTREMUM, they can reset now. They got what they wanted, and they only lose an Aegis, which is more than a good trade here for EXTREMUM, taking down the melee racks and picking up a kill on Afterlife on top of it all.
Chu, every time, super ready for this. Look at his positioning. Look how far away he's on the minimap. He's so far away from any opportunity from. They do it actually perfectly on the side of Gambit to burst him with the combo, but yeah, Chu turns it around completely there. And then the Spirit Siphons come out and yeah, they just clean up from there. EXTREMUM approaching the fight. Very nice.
As you said, we just haven't seen this level of play from EXTREMUM in the league. And in the mid lane, they've got the Chrono.
He's got the shift.
He does, but at this stage, they do a lot. Is it enough, though? No one. Pops the Manta. He is able to get out here with the waveform, but they're chasing. They're trying to chase the gap. And closing onto no one. No one thinking about turning around, but they spin him in. Shashlo is sent right into the front lines. He is getting focus burst by the E-Blade combo with the Blade Fury. Can they kill him off? He's able to get the hood. And Shashlo's still alive. Stampede's out. Shashlo, he makes it away. Shashlo's going to get out of there. Dream will die. And now they can maybe even look for more Afterlife. He's got to blink back to safety. As both Dream and Immersion getting taken out. They couldn't quite kill Shashlo. They didn't have enough magical burst to take him out between the pipe. The Lotus, he's just keeping himself alive, and they get nothing here, ASM Gambit.
Every little thing counts, right? Cloak of Flames too. Every little tiny bit of magic resist keeps him up and alive there. EXTREMUM just continue to outplay them in the fight. Just
and another catch, and Immersion just brought back. So that's now a deadline for 70 seconds.
No one.
Chu.
Gets turned against himself, but quickly cleans up those illusions. And that's how Dream died in the last situation, too. Chu gets a disruption onto him after the Omni Slash, after the Swift Slash. His own illusions do end up killing him. We were mentioning how he was going for Aghanims on the Shadow Demon as well. He's going to have it very soon now after that Blink Dagger for the positioning. This is just excellent planning. EXTREMUM, they're running away with it. How many kills in a row have they gotten, it feels like? I feel like the last time Gambit got anything was like 10 minutes ago plus. Yeah, they killed Chu at the 23-minute mark. We're at 32 plus. That is pretty crazy. Great outplays coming out from EXTREMUM. Just reading the map.
Oh, they're trying to push them off this tower, but I mean, Nefrit and Meladrill, they're not going anywhere.
And as you mentioned, he's got the S&Y, he's got the Sliver, and now he's going back for Scotty's.
No one's trying to chase. He's got to be careful.
Careful, yeah.
Has to play from a distance here. And Shashlo, he's with the Hoof Stomp. No one just continuing to try and push on. Will manage to take out the Courier. That's the shard out of the game.
Okay. Oh, he can actually, okay, he can use these time walks.
He's looking for Chu.
To the back nicely. But Chu, he's on him.
They're going to turn. BKB's out for no one.
His own illusions.
He's standing his ground, but indeed, he's got to be careful, taking heavy damage here from the setup from Chu. He's out with a waveform. Slash comes in. Lotus is out though. Nefri, he's ready to keep on pushing on. Dream and Afterlife having to get out of here. If they try their best to push them back, ASM Gambit, but they can't stop EXTREMUM. Another tower taken. EXTREMUM just growing their lead now, 14k ahead.
They can't touch any of them. Honestly, they're all just looking too tanky or just in too good a positioning. Now they've started to get all these counters for the Morphling, as we've mentioned. Scotty, done for Void. We have Shivas, done for Death Prophet. This is not looking easy at all for Gambit. Can't even get themselves a kill. Poor Noah almost kills himself with those illusions.
Yeah, it was very close to not even making it out of there, no one. And another fight where they're struggling and the big ult's not having to be used by EXTREMUM. Chrono's ready for the next play.
Exorcism's still down. Where's the Shivas? Okay, it's been flying back and forth on the courier. It's finally going to make it to the Death Prophet. Chu, little limited on mana in this fight. He's actually down to 380 out of his 1700 pool on the Shadow Demon, but the full Aghanims. So.
Oh, there we go.
But he won't be able to have... He can't actually cast them all. He can cast maybe like one Purge, and he has to save the rest of his mana for saves. It's a bit limited. Slowly will regen up, but...
Yeah, he's got those extra stats now as well from the Axe.
No one. The leash, the
Should
double
be
axe.
okay. Immersion, yeah, has to come in to make sure that no one's going to be protected. Time with the burst onto the two of them. Jump forward from Nefri. He's in onto the line. Immersion will get the finger off. Lotus as well, protecting him from Dream's ult. Now the Chrono's down. Do they have the damage? Yes, they've got the Kisses coming in. Both pretty tanky targets. Houston coming in as well. Another slash coming in from Dream, but no one's dead. They've lost no one. They'll lose Dream. They just don't have enough right now to fight back ASM Gambit against EXTREMUM. They'll take another team fight as the struggles are real here for ASM Gambit. They'll tap out.
They haven't gotten a kill in over 10 minutes. All they killed was Observer Wards. EXTREMUM playing this
brilliant.